can't. You have to work tomorrow. I'm like, the fuck's tomorrow?
We are live. Yes.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
And we were, what is this sound? Close that. Let me get this going on here. Banners. How is everybody doing?
Sexy.
Comments are on. Let me make sure that this is not just with me and my friends, but that we have maybe the public. Edit. Public. Settings. We're doing this. All right. I would love to hear where you guys are from while we're getting all this set up. Scotland. We got Scotland. We got Georgia.
Yeah.
Rose is in Georgia. We got Indiana.
Hello, Hoosier.
All right, there we go. Now we're public. Let's see if we're public on the other one.
I have to let's see how I'm gonna do this.
Yes, I think we're public on both of them.
See.
Awesome.
Good. Now I'm gonna share it on mine real quick.
Yes, definitely share because you're on Facebook now.
Yeah, can you believe it, huh?
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. Must be some kind of fucking happy Hanukkah present or some shit like that. Who knows?
I don't think it's shared.
Well, I don't think. Let's see.
It is not yet on your page.
Well, I know that. I just got on my page.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you're doing it.
I work a little bit slower with the Mac. Just a little bit. Trying. Struggling here. I'm trying. I really am.
You got this. I know you do. I mean, did you guys notice that we were told what to wear on this show? North Florida and Canada and Tampa, Florida and Houston, Texas and Minnesota and Oklahoma and Wisconsin people. We no longer even dress according to our own thing. I said, what do you got on, Jason? Jason's like, the shirt that I was supposed to wear.
Says, I'll be back.
Yes, I'll be back. So a special, beautiful, wonderful friend of ours sent us these awesome Trump shirts. And yeah, I cried when I got it because it was so thoughtful. I wasn't expecting it at all. I was like, oh my God, it made my whole day. Oh. Julie Meyer, you're here.
That's awesome.
And I know. I was like, I thought it was the wolf shirt that you were going to send me at first. I was like, oh yeah, it's here.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I got to do that.
And then I opened it up and I was like, oh my God. Dina, I hope you're on here. Hey, Steve, what's up, Steve? What's up? Kathy from Wisconsin, Linda from East Texas. Kim is in the house from Pennsylvania. Julie Meyer, good to see you.
So, what do you want to chat about tonight?
Oh my God.
We can literally go off the rails tonight.
I like going off the rail. Why is this?
I actually had to walk away from one chapter in this.
You had to walk away?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That bad. Yeah.
Okay.
This Project Mannequin. Something else. Oh yeah. Very much so. And I'm just like, holy shit. And I think it is exactly what we were supposed to find, because oh boy, did we find a lot more than we thought we would.
I have a couple other sources that have talked about Mannequin quite a little bit, and then Max talks about it, or did talk about it.
Tell you what, we're about to blow the lid off this shit now. About to get lit.
Yes. Karen is saying thank you I'm glad you can air on. Yeah. So internet last week, everybody, we tried. And do you know, Jason, Yesterday, my internet went out again. I'm out of town in another place. My internet went out. It was out again all day today, and it finally just came on. And I'm like, oh my God, if this screws me up again, I am going to flip and lose my head. But my husband is so awesome. He got it all set. He got it straight. He called the company, and we're all good.
He is one hell of a guy.
Here we are. Melissa from Huntsville, Alabama. Anna from Tampa. We got Norway in the house. Pam. Hello, Pam. Hello, Debbie. Hey, Karen. Melissa. Paula. While we're getting set up here. About to, I guess, blow the cover off.
Well, what do you want to talk? I mean,
let's talk about Project Mannequin. I want to talk about that.
All right. Just warning you. This is not for the faint-hearted at all. So, Agent Buried Alive. It's a book by James Casbolt. It's his book. It's his whole story about it. Now, I'm sitting here thinking that the CIA are a bunch of dicks. Oh boy, was I wrong. The NSA are big dicks. Big. Just one faction. You know, there's two factions. The Aquarius faction, they're the dicks. Majestic 12, it actually switched names. Now it's COM 12. COMM 12. So when they say no outside comms, no shit. Because it's COM 12 talking to us. So that's the positive. The patriotic group, and they're centered around U.S. naval intelligence, and they're known as COM 12. And they're working with positive ETs from the Pleiades star system to help humanity, but they're also bound by galactic non-intervention laws. They cannot disrupt the developing race's evolution. That's why we had to do it ourselves. That's why we had to learn all this. That's why we had to do this whole exercise to actually boost, I think they said we're over 60% now worldwide. So it's actually going real well.
As far as awake?
Yeah.
So we hit the tipping point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now,
I definitely think
this weekend.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be just filled with booms. And then I think Super Bowl Sunday is just going to be when they say done in 30, they have it in a kill box. How many quarters are in a Super Bowl? It's 4, right? How many minutes are every quarter? It's 15. 30 minutes, halftime, done in 30. What if their because their halftime show got cut down to 13 minutes this year? It's a lot shorter flight from Tampa to Guantanamo Bay than it is from Atlanta last year to Gitmo. Or was it 2 years ago, was it? Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, because it was the Patriots playing the Rams.
Wait, the Chiefs won last year, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's funny because we actually called the game, and that's how we know it's all fixed. Now, Trump is going after the NFL because the NFL screwed him over when he had the USFL team, the New Jersey Generals. When he said, yeah, I mean, I can compete with your teams. I got a pretty good squad over here. I mean, he only had Herschel Walker, Jim Kelly, Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, the guy he had like the Tecmo Bowl of all Tecmo Bowl teams as a team. And he's like, I go heads up with you guys, but the NFL owners didn't want to. So he actually won the antitrust lawsuit, but he only won $3. So they had to fold up. So now he's exposing them. That's why the whole kneeling for the flag and everything, that's a whole Freemasonic deal. There's a whole kneeling. Oh, yeah. So now we've got, Super Bowl because, it's their biggest, it is their like big deal. It's all about the child trafficking, human trafficking, now they're pretty much screwed. Because what did you essentially do by having it in Tampa Bay?
Made it closer.
You have them on a peninsula. There's only one way out, and that's backward. to land. It's like, guess what? You ain't going back that way. Nope. Hitting the water or hitting Cuba? You tell us. That's why it's going to be suicide weekend this weekend again. Why not? I mean, they're already dropping dead, you know? They're all going for that Rommel death. I don't know why, you know? Actually have some balls and take, I mean, we already know he did it. So just by, people just, like all these people just mysteriously die. And then you have the whole COVID deal, which that's about to blow open because what they screw with the numbers. What 1,800%? Oh, that's not nice.
No. It's just like with the Robin Hood, with the election, with everything. It's like apparently you can play the game as long as you don't win. But the minute you start winning, they stop everything. And they're like, whoa, we didn't need for you to win. The same thing with air, food, information, health, medical, everything. It's like as long as we, think we're playing the game and just like it seems like we're participating, but as soon as we start to win, then they pull everything back and go, wait, whoa, you can't win. That's messed up.
But the best part is that we're winning without even trying, because it's like that ginger bitch over there in the White House giving the briefings.
Oh,
now, number one, it's not the White House, if you notice, because if you look at the setup, it's like, where'd they get all the fancy desks? They have all the new fancy desks and the whole new backdrop and everything. I'm like, that's not the White House. That's not the press room at all. Not at all. Number two, if you look at the YouTube videos, they're all posted 6 years ago. Huh? You don't say.
What YouTube videos?
The ones with her.
What?
Oh yeah, that little ginger bitch. You ought to see whoever they have for the media now. Oh, they're just fire. Especially the Edward Snowden one. How she's pretty much like saying, "Oh, Russia, just bring him back. Just give him back because he committed all these crimes." And they're like, "Well, doesn't he have freedom of speech? I mean, he's just accused. I mean, he has rights, So they're battling with her, and chick's 3 fries short of a Happy Meal. Let's face it.
No, let's circle back.
Yeah, she ain't circling no more. We circling something around that neck.
Don't do that. But anyway, they did say. Now they're starting to say they got to send the questions ahead of time for her.
Fuck off.
So she can. Same thing with Biden. We got to send them ahead of time. That's not right.
Nope. You know what? And the thing is that they sat here and they trashed Kayleigh McEnany, and she handled their ass like a boss. She went up there not even know what they're going to ask, and she's giving a full-blown PowerPoint presentation. I'm like, you can only laugh because it's like, it's almost like, you're walking to your certain death. That's it. Whenever you're dealing with her, because she's just a savage.
She is a savage. I love her. I miss her.
You miss nothing. You're still here. Oh, they're all scared that, President Trump might run a shadow government from Mar-a-Lago. It's like, no shit, huh? Sucks when that happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or is it a shadow government?
Yeah. What are they building at the White House right now?
Yeah, what's that all about? Seriously.
Probably gallows. The last president to have hangings at the White House was Abraham Lincoln.
I don't think that's gallows. You really think that's gallows? Come on. Really?
They put the fence and the razor wire up. They brought the prison to them.
I know, it's kind of crazy. It is.
Treason is punishable by death or firing squad. By hanging, firing squad. Or if you want to go on Obamacare, hell, we could pull out the guillotines. We could pull out the accidental deaths or deaths that can't be explained.
Just seems a little crazy.
No. It's starting to turn. Now it's turning in our favor. Now it's our turn. It's not crazy. Now it's going to get fun. And it needs to. Because all these people that are saying, nothing's happening. I mean, seriously, for the past 3 years, I mean, we've been listening to the same shit. Nothing's happening. That's bullshit. That's not right. It's like, I mean, I'm not tooting any horn here, but I would be the last person that I want to challenge about documents. I mean, I'll square up with the Library of Congress at this point. Fuck them. I mean, we got them nailed. I mean, how we have everything put together because we all did it as one. We just had to find a way to tap into the collective. That's it. They helped us.
Well, I know I've not talked to you about a friend of mine, Bob Jones. He was like a mentor to me, and he passed away February 14th, a few years ago. But he always said, he told us all the time that when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, that there was going to be a big shift in America and that there was going to be basically a revival, he called it. Now, I looked up the word revival, and it's exactly what we're doing right now. People are waking up,
it's a reawakening.
Yes. And he also said that he had set prophecies up by the decades up until I think 2050 or 60. I have to look and see. But for the 20s to 2020 to 2030, it was that we would find the rest of God, meaning that God would be in us in rest and we would be in him, in God in rest, and that there would just be like a rest. Now, when I thought about that, or when I think about that, I think about Jubilee. I think about when you got to, you use the land for however long and then you give it a year off before you plant again.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to.
We're supposed to.
That was the whole point of Nasera, and that was the whole Jubilee. I mean,
exactly.
Every 7 years, it's the whole. Even farmers do it. It's
exactly. But we hadn't done it in years, and he said that this would be the decade where we would come into this rest. And how better can we be in a rest is the whole Jasera and Nasera thing. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So I was reminded of that and I actually posted about that earlier this week because maybe things don't look restful. At the beginning, it's kind of like whenever you go clean out your house or your garage, sometimes shit looks really bad for a little bit before, worse before it gets better. Cause you kind of like take everything out and gut everything and figure out what goes in the trash and what you're going to keep and what you're going to sell. And what I mean?
And then you're like, fuck this, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And you're like, I got to put everything back. It sucks.
No.
What if I just leave everything open? If I leave everything out, you think people would just be nice and put it away or take it? No, they don't.
I mean, I think the trash is being taken out is what I'm saying. I'm saying
it's already been taken out.
I'm saying there's still this awakening. I think people within even just the regulars are coming into a divide of separation. It's like, I've even seen like friends, people on Facebook that have been friends forever, church people, all kinds of people who are just like all of a sudden on one side or another, people are picking a side. There's been a lot of different things happening, but
the thing is, I mean, let's face it, Sunday, how many people tune into the Super Bowl? It's the most watched program.
Not to mention, it's also the highest human trafficking time of the year, the biggest human trafficking day of the year.
And the funny thing is that it's Tom Brady's first year in Tampa Bay. They're playing in Tampa Bay, and that's the first time a home team has ever hosted a Super Bowl. Ever. And it's Super Bowl 55, 5-5.
Wow.
And when they score, what do? They light off a cannon. It goes boom. They can't do it this time. Yeah. Buccaneers. It's Buccaneers versus the Chiefs. So technically you got the Pirates versus the Indians. Huh. Wow. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds real familiar. Sounds like Mayflower familiar. Just saying. I mean.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, talk to me about the what are the,
I'm talking to you. I mean, shit.
about no about the mannequin
oh.
thing. What you found?
I mean,
So James, for those who don't know who James is, James Casbolt, super soldier, also known as Michael Prince. He worked a lot with James Rink, who's still living, Max Spears, who's passed, and a lot of other super soldiers that had been vocal who have are not with us anymore, unfortunately. Well, not in that sense anyway, physically. But so is he mentioned in there?
who's that?
Or is that document his document?
It's his document.
Oh wow.
It's his book he wrote. Oh, and it's juicy. Thing is, you guys are gonna love this. So you had you got I mean, basically you have two factions, right? You have the Aquarius, that's a bad, and then you have Com 12. That's a good. Okay. Now everybody's like, oh, Agent of Aquarius, watch the water. It's like, yeah, they're the bad ones. Bad. So it's like everybody's battling for supremacy of Earth. The problem is that 2030 was it. Because it was going to happen between 2000 and 2030. That's when the Alpha Draconian rule was going to take over. The lizards, yeah, they're real. The reptilians, they're all in Inner Earth and everything. So technically, you got all these different factions that we're fighting. Nobody even knows who's who. Because, I mean, not only do you have to deal with the reptilians, you have to deal with those asshole chimeras. They are really evil. And they're like 18 foot tall. I mean, I gotta stop saying that too. Because if that was a drinking game and every time I said people be drunk within the first 5 minutes. So he goes. I mean, it's on Scribd. Agent Barry Live. You can download it. It's 135 pages. Chapter 5. I would definitely walk gingerly with that one. Thing is that they talk about the return of the Watchers. Now, they talk about how all this Project Mannequin, how it started by the NSA and British intelligence and all that back in the 40s and 50s, along with Project Paperclip with the Nazis, and we're going with all that, right? So the whole mind control, when people think mind control, and here's another thing. Melania, remember when she sent out some flowers before? She sent out some chrysanthemums?
No, but I'm sure she did.
She did. She put out a bunch of them. The thing is, that's the name of the underground biogenetics facility in Dulce. Its name is chrysanthemum.
Wow. Really?
The flower, the mums. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. And see, so you have the NSA and the Department of Energy, and there's only 500 people in the whole U.S. that holds the Umbra 8 levels above top secret, and they work in various military bases in Tennessee. Now, remember when Trump had a kind of put him on blast? That was it? I want to think it was Oak Ridge. I want to think it was like Oak Ridge Laboratory or some. It was like Oak something Laboratory in Tennessee, where the guy was making more than he was, the president. And he's like, well, how's this guy making more than me? I mean, he's donating his check back and all that, but he's like, how's this guy making more than I am? What the hell's going on down there? Well, there you go. That's what was going on. That's where all the dirty shit was going on down there. So you've got Fort Meade in Maryland. You got facility in Utah, which facility in Utah is that would be the NSA facility, which would be starts with a B. Oh shit! It's a new one they just put up. And then you have Linville, North Carolina. But you have like all these groups fighting. You have the Magi and the Zoroastrians. Then you have the White Lotus Society, which are the Chinese Illuminati. And they are the ones with 250,000 assassins. They're the ones that went after the Black Pope. They're like the dragon families.
Okay.
But the thing is that you have all these bad factions, right? But the other faction, so you have like one faction that believes in the fallen angels and the watchers and all that, and like that they're bad. But then you have the other secret societies of factions that they base their teachings around more Christian principles and the ancient book of Enoch. Huh. No shit, really. And it says, during the age of the church fathers, from the 4th century onward, the book of Enoch started to become suppressed. This led to the strange decision by St. Augustine that the book of Enoch was too old to be included in scripture. Too old? Really? Maybe it was too truthful. Because I mean, let's face it, the church fathers, the Vatican, the whole, when they pulled that shit, 325 AD, that's when they technically wrote the Bible. They reformed it all because how many books are in the original Bible?
66.
777.
What?
Yes, there's 777 books in the Bible.
Dang. Well, I knew a lot of them were taken out, and also a lot of them were from the Emerald tablets, like direct quotes from Buddha, direct quotes from Emerald tablet. They're not cited at all, though. No one says this comes from that, this comes from that, which is a little bit annoying. But
guess what's mentioned here? That's in it is in Alaska, and it's underground. It's in a ship. It's in a Pleiadian ship, and that's why Harp is up there. That is where they have the Tablet of Destiny, Tablets of Destiny. Now, let's go all the way back to when we were sitting here having this little feud with people about the Bible and the Enuma Elish and everything. The Enuma Elish, it described the tablets. The tablets were the breastplate of God. That's what they likened it to. Okay. That's why Marduk actually killed Tiamat's what the hell was his name? The one that actually conspired with Tiamat to actually kill the 12 the 12 evil ones that they created. I mean, they're just vicious.
And then they blow up the whole planet.
Yeah, and Marduk went ahead and killed him and took the Tablets of Destiny, and that was the breastplate of God. That's why they said put on your breastplate of God, shield and everything, and it all comes together. But the thing is that is mentioned in like Enoch, Keys of Enoch and everything like that. But remember, they wanted to leave that out.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're the other faction. They're the Aquarian faction. So now they actually had a battle in Dulce in 1960s. Scientists at the genetic facility were taken hostage by reptilian-like extraterrestrial life forms who had been working with the U.S. government underneath the New Mexico desert. The special forces teams who went in for the attempted rescue had to be hypnotized and drugged to cope with the situation. I mean, and these people are thinking, oh, that shit's all fake. Telling you what, more real than you think.
Look.
I mean, and guess what else comes up? Your most fucking hated place in the world, Montauk, comes up as well. And the thing is, it's the chair.
They talk about the chair. He talks about the chair in the book.
He talks about the chairs, about the mind control and everything like that. I mean, this book, I'll send it to you. This is, because what it is Project Mannequin program. The Mannequin program was started in 1972, at the Peasmore base near in Berkshire, United Kingdom, right? Peasmore, Peas, right? Remember when he's like, eat your peas and carrots, presidential emergency alert system?
Mm-hmm.
Peasmore. That's it. I mean, they were giving us crumbs to go look at Mannequin. The final crumb was that whole letter by John F. Kennedy, where his last name is misspelled. They left out the E, but then they had that stick with that cloth on it with the rope. Well, when you look at it, you don't think anything of it. But when you really know, it's like, what's on the fabric? Why are there monarch butterflies on it? Right there, you're like, okay, mind control. Then you look at it and you're like, the rope signifies like a belt. And the stick coming down, it's like a mannequin. And I'm sitting here going through papers and I'm like, Project Mannequin. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and for those of you guys who are watching, there's a Project Monarch, Mannequin, Montauk. There's several of them, and he's throwing out words, but I want you to understand there's several projects, and yeah, Jason, someone's been telling me to go watch this thing on I don't remember if it's Prime or whatever it is, but it's called the 100, and it's about these people who are in a galaxy far above, and they get sent to Earth to see if Earth is still like workable. And when they get there, dude, they find out that there's underground people who can't survive above, so they're underground, but basically they're causing everyone who can be above to fight against each other so they can capture people periodically, bring them down. They take their blood. They're using their blood to stay alive because they need blood to stay alive underground. They're making super soldiers and experimenting on all these super soldiers, and then they're sending them back up to the ground to cause fights between all the people. So they're so busy fighting that they can keep like stealing people without anyone really figuring it out or thinking that it's coming from either side that are stealing them, when really it's the Earth. And they're experimenting on all this stuff, and they got everybody down there in cages, children, teenagers, whatever. And I was just like, oh my God. And this is back 2014, I think, when they started this, and I posted about it. I'm only on season 2 or 3 right now, but I was like, wow, who makes up this stuff? Geez, it's a good thing it's not real, because that would suck, right? But they're exactly telling us about the underground stuff, about the bases, about the people living off of blood.
The 100 are the Pleiadians, because the Pleiadians actually left here. They left here thinking that, okay, everything's good, everything's peaceful, we can go now. Because remember, they have to respect our free will. What happened? Fucking lizard shitheads showed up.
Well, they call them the sky people, the 100.
Exactly, sky people, the Pleiadians.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because who is from Pleiades? Let's see.
There's quite a few, actually.
Thing is, that's not it. I'll second. Let's see. God, that chapter sucks. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know if you guys have seen the 100 why he's doing that, but it as you go further, it gets more and more graphic. So I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm going to keep watching. I think I saw enough as it is, but so I'm not going to put my stamp of approval and say, hey, everybody can watch that. But I'm just letting you know that.
I'll tell you right now. I mean, like I said, I'll tell you where I got the book and everything from. But as far as like reading it, I just definitely putting a big warning on it. Remember when they mentioned Sentinel, when Sentinel came up?
Mm-hmm.
So the former head of Project Mannequin, his name was Mr. Whitmore. His code name was Sentinel.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow.
So Whitmore would actually go to Montauk for meetings from Great Britain.
Well, everything is connected underground. You can get to anywhere really, really fast from California to across the way to the UK. Everything is underground.
It's in Pine Gap too. Pine Gap now. That's where I'm taking out Pine Gap in Australia.
Yes.
It's man,
So how do you get this book? Because I'm looking online while you're talking. Is there, you have to get it from his website or something?
Send it to you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Subscribe. No problem.
I'll put it in the group too. I'll send a copy to you guys in the group for everybody who's watching.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's an app, Scribd, SCRIBD. Been mentioning it for a long time. Costs $10 a month. Telling you what, go to documents, stick with the documents, and start digging. And when you start seeing what they start showing, woo-wee, shit. You're not gonna believe what everything we found today, just today. So let's see. Damn it. Copy that. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your. There you go.
You sent it through Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
Sorry about that. And let's see. Because I mean, I think people really need to, instead of like listen to me blab about it, because I'm like really, really tiptoeing about it. Because I finished reading it last night. Well, last night and this morning. And coloring it. Of course, it's all colored. And chapter 5 is the only one that actually had to stop in.
So what stuck out? What else stuck out to you in it that you're? Oh my gosh!
Well, you got all the pleading forces and everything that are all here, and there's talk about knights, right? The intelligence community consists of modern day knights, and the people who work with me are some of the individuals who are still human and haven't been taken over. I will explain what I mean by the statement. The knightly Masonic orders were originally set up to directly combat dangerous extraterrestrial life forms, but nowadays many of the orders have been taken over by the same beings who are their sworn enemies. So, among the most dangerous reptilians on Earth is now the Chimera, or the shapeshifter. Walk around as man, but they shapeshift. Now, chimeras, they can get up 18 foot tall, and they're like, they're faster than human thought. But it's funny they would mention modern day knights, because that takes us right to, right to King Arthur. Because also what he mentions is that he mentions something about an Excalibur-like weapon that goes in the ground, but it doesn't damage the ground above, and that's why we talk about the scalar waves, all the scalar waves and everything. Because like, holy shit, here we go. I mean, there is like some serious crazy shit in this. And like I said, chapter 5, caution, big time, especially the third page in. Couldn't do it. No. Because that's when it says born into the project. That's when he goes into detail about how they created these mind control people. And the thing is that when he mentioned Janus, right? JANUS, that is a project that they're running. That's the End Times project. That's the one they're running out of Denver International Airport. Underneath it. So once they plug that in to these people, I'll bet you that's the Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, we've talked about that. I mean, once they're set up on any AI at all or any nanotechnology, it's all set to where they can go. I want all the Baptists who live in this city, who are this heritage, color, whatever race, blah 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 blah. We want you to do that, bling, and they just hit a button.
I mean, how advanced this shit is, it even shocked me. And the thing is so everything is based around the Kabbalah, right?
Mhm.
Everything in Project Mannequin is organized by the Jewish Kabbalah occult system, using such esoteric methods as numerology and archeometry, which is advanced remote viewing, which arch archeometry, ARCHEOMETRY, wouldn't that be the keystone? Because an
Yeah.
arch, keystone's in an arch. It's the last stone in an arch. Even the name James Casbolt means valiant, decorated warrior of death and destruction in Kabbalah numerology, right? So he was a commander of a 5-member unit that consists of 4 males and 1 female. Even this was based around the Kabbalah, as the 5 members each represented one of the 5 elements: air, water, fire, earth, metal / spirit. Our assassination unit was a part of a 15-member Delta team, and the team was divided into 3 units. And he was known as Commander Michael Prince. Funny thing is, Delta. Wow.
Mhm.
Where was Delta from, right? You know, talk about the 2 entrances to get there. I mean, this is it's okay. This is exactly how it goes. Okay. They took 1 million kids, they cryogenically froze them, and they used them for food. That is what they were doing then, and that's what Project Pelican is now. Because that's how they're shipping them. Because that's how they're using Port Canaveral and Cape Canaveral with NASA. They were taking the kids to NASA, cryogenically freezing them. There's one dedicated rail line from Cape Canaveral to Port Canaveral. That's it. And that's when, remember, Obama leased it to that United Emirates company.
Right.
And I mean, no foreign entity is allowed to own any seaport in America. It's a law. They walked around that. They gave them a 35-year lease. So that's where they get the whole Project Pelican, because the shipping containers. Where do pelicans carry their young? In their beaks. It's all symbolism. So what was in the shipping containers? The young. Because the thing is, they don't eat dead meat. They have to scare it first. They're nice.
That's what they were doing even on the show. It's
I
totally
mean,
disgusting.
These people, I mean, they're just fucked up. That's all. I mean,
I just dropped the links in there for you guys. If anyone wants to go look, go to Divine Science, and then you can see the links in there.
And I mean, there's another one. They actually go, I mean, he goes into such detail with this. I mean, it's 135 pages, but I mean, it's
Well, and he was picked just like the other super soldiers. So they did 4 guys and a girl for each group, and they were called a pack, the wolves. And some of them were used later for super soldiers.
One of the projects is Lone Wolf.
Yep, Lone Wolf, and James talks about that too. James Rink, but yeah, and I'm not going to go too much into the stuff that I'm still anyway. But everyone was picked. Who are these guys in the first place? For any of the kids that were used for these projects, they were picked from a project called Oak Tree.
Yep, Project Oak Tree, which was Project Anvil, but it changed to Project Oak Tree. That's when the NSA took over, and they're more powerful than the CIA now. And that's in 1947, and that's the year of the Roswell crash, and when Israel was formed.
Yeah.
A year later, in 48, the genetic bloodline study was started in Britain to locate gifted children to be used for espionage by the intelligence community. It started Project Anvil, changes to Oak Tree in 50s. And it was being run by the NSA from Harwell Genetic Laboratories in Oxfordshire in the UK. and it was connected to all the major hospitals in the UK.
Yep.
Because they were looking for these lost descendants of the tribe of Dan to the lost tribe of Israel.
They would check their blood, just like all of our blood is on record before we're born, and they're studying our DNA before any of us are born. They're looking for specifics, and that's how they target you.
Specific markers that show that you're of that bloodline, and that's how Kaz Bolt got in, because his grandfather, his
same
father,
thing with Max. Same
and
thing.
it's all they're
Any of us who've been used, they found you before. They were messing with everybody in the mother's womb. They were already doing things in the womb.
Oh yeah, within the first 5 minutes of they're born, they do electric shock on them.
Well, even before they come out, before
yeah.
any baby is born, they're taking the mom and doing stuff.
That's the Moonchild. That's what they call the Moonchild deal. It's like because that happened to Arizona Wilder, because that is Prince William's mother.
Oh, I hadn't heard about this one.
Arizona Wilder. Yep. She was used as for that whole Moonchild ritual, where she was pregnant and Aleister Crowley and all that. They summoned all these demons.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, his scalar waves are so bad. It is terrible. It's terrible. He actually enjoyed. They show how he's in 55 or below on everything, which is manipulation, control, dark forces. Terrible stuff. But when it got to one of the questions where they tested how much he enjoyed being, or how much present he was, not really present at all because he was on drugs all the time. But when it got to how much did he enjoy the role he was playing, like what his personal purpose was, it was 100%. He enjoyed it. And so he wasn't in his divine purpose, but he was in his personal purpose, meaning it was all about his agenda and what he could do or what he was doing. And he loved it. He enjoyed it. It was a game to him. Scary.
And the thing is also, goes to World War II, where you have the concentration camps. See, what happened was that.
Okay, well, let's use code. If you're going to say anything, please make sure.
Well, no, I mean it's pretty much basic. I mean, it's cut and dry. What they had is the Pleiadians made a deal with the Nazis, right? That as long as they didn't kill any of the Jews, right? They didn't, they were the chosen ones, right? So he said can't touch them, right? So then they turned around, and when the Pleiadians stepped away, the Greys came up and made a deal with the Nazis, and Nazis were like, well, hell, with all this technology and everything, it's like you could have whatever we have at the concentration camps.
I thought it was the Nordics. It's the Nordics, wasn't it? The Nordics that work with the Nazis?
Well, the Nordics are the type of Pleiadian. That's the dark side of the Pleiadians. Pleiadians have the dark side as well.
Okay.
The Nordies, yeah, that's all, Maria Orsic and the Vril Society and all that shit.
Yeah, just so for the record, because there's good guys and bad guys.
Everything.
Bad, but
everything. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to create the Uberman.
Yep, Superman. That's where they get.
And think about it, Uberman.
Yep. I
mean, they actually named a company Uber.
Well, and that's where they got Superman, Uberman. It's the ultimate super soldier.
Yeah. And they're from different star systems, everything. I mean, because the thing is, that's the whole Grenada Treaty.
Remember this?
I don't have one tattoo. I hate needles, clowns, and midgets.
It's the whole wolf thing, the wolf pet.
I gotta write that down. I'll send it.
Yes. So yeah, because they were channeling, some chick was channeling these Nordics to give them all the information. That's where they got all the technology and what have you. And that's how they got the connections to get these spaceships that they were reverse engineering and creating. So that, I mean, that's why everything went down in Antarctica with Captain, what's his name? Bird.
Oh, yeah, Admiral Byrd.
Yeah, they demolished him. They came back.
They got their asses whipped. They lost a ton of ships.
They lost everything, about everything. And then when they came back, they were freaked out, crazy, like mental over it, and they had to sign NDAs for everything. And were 86, and some of them jumped off buildings, and it was terrible.
Oh, we have one of the naval officers' diaries from Operation High Jump.
Who do you have?
I don't think it was supposed to be released.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's like a 70-page. It's like a 70-page diary. Oh yeah, they even say they're like, well, the sun didn't set today. That's normal. And they even say that they found thousands of miles of green forest land that's never been touched. And they're like, we have icebergs right next to us. Something's not right here. You know, the thing is, there were some, because the documents I have, it has every ship. The Philippine Sea, that's the one that, Admiral Byrd was on, because you had Admiral Byrd, and then you had Admiral Richard Cruzen.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head of the task force. So he was the head of the whole deal. Because what they were doing was they were doing the whole mapping project. That's Operation Windmill. Operation Windmill is the whole mapping of the Earth.
Right.
Notice a windmill. Look at the UN flag. Color every other thing. It looks like a windmill. It's exactly what it is. It's a flat Earth. That's why people, they can't believe it. It's like, look, it's flat, guys. It's a spaceship. You guys just have to deal with it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. There's a firmament dome. Like they showed the launch of SpaceX a couple nights ago. It was like between 6:08 and 6:30 at night. And the funny thing is that you start seeing it go, and then you start seeing all this plasma and everything. It's like, duh. Called portals.
What was the green patch? What are you talking about? And they also saw these crazy ships technology that they'd never seen before that were able to do everything. Hover and
anti-gravity and everything. Everything. I mean, we've actually gotten more dumb as we went along because we've been dumbed down.
Because literally, scientifically, yes, by the food, the chemtrails, the other things I'm not going to say that start with a V, but yeah.
Yep. And the thing is, I mean, and the thing is, the MIEC, right? When they talked about the military industrial complex, no, they left out something. The E, military industrial extraterrestrial complex. That's the official name of it. That's why they're shitting bricks over it. And George Bush Sr. was above the 42nd degree and is deeply entrenched in the military industrial extraterrestrial complex. And they call that the octopus.
Mm-hmm.
So when they said release the Kraken,
wow,
the Kraken's a big squid.
Wow.
So does the squid go after the octopus? I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's a fight of all fights, right? I mean, but you have positive factions and all that. Just like everything.
Yeah, just everything.
Dan Aykroyd, he's on the positive side of the of like Com 12 and all everything.
Well, he's been out to a SETI, and he was one of the first to go. Like, there's all kinds of celebrities that have been out there, but he's big into all this stuff. Like I don't know if you've ever been to a SETI or been out to a SETI, but you can just see ships coming right up the mountain all day, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
And then
with your eye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like now, I mean, that's what there's people. We've been watching the moon for a long time now, and it's been doing some really weird shit. Now everybody's waking up and starting to watch the sky a lot more than watch the ground, and you're starting to see a lot of stuff. It's like your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. I mean, everything's real. Wait till dark goes to light. They're going to uncloak. They have to.
Well, and going back to Antarctica, the reason why they were even going up there is because uranium. They wanted that uranium for bombs.
Yeah, well,
and right after that, all of a sudden there was a big thing where the UN or they all decided no one can do anything to do any more research up there or break up into Antarctica because they wanted to protect their uranium.
No, and plus they found the fucking Anunnaki that they have chained and frozen up there.
All the
whatever.
There, yeah.
I mean, this is some serious shit. And when people actually understand that Lucifer is actually on our side.
Who? What?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what'd you just say?
You heard me? Lucifer's on our side right now.
What is
Lucifer and Satan are not the same.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Okay.
Make my brain.
Is that Lucifer was not the one that the first fallen one. The first fallen one was Azazel. That was the last name in the Old Testament of Satan.
Okay.
Okay. So you had Azazel, you had Lucifer, and then you had let's see. Get right here. 1 second. Let's see. 1 second.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I want to make sure I get the names right. That's all. Okay, right here. Okay, so you have Lucifer, Michael, Azazel, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel were/are physical extraterrestrials. Michael, originally based around Aldebaran in the Pleiades. Azazel is from the Sirius. Then you have Raphael from Regulus, Gabriel from Formaldehyde, Uriel from Antares. And it says Lucifer has a very complex story and cannot be covered here. At one time before the rebellion of the being, they were all ultimately taking orders from Lucifer, and Azazel outranked Michael, Archangel Michael. Now, some say Azazel was the first to rebel when God told him he must serve humans as they were created in his image. Apparently, he said, "Why should a son of fire, an angel, bow down before a son of clay, human?" This was the probable cause of the Luciferian Wars of the Watchers. So, at the time of the fall, Lucifer ordered all of his forces and starships to converge in the Lyra star sector. Michael, being the loyal soldier he is, came with his Aldebaran military forces. He wasn't aware that their leader had rebelled against the ultimate authority, against God, and was following orders. And Azazel and 200 Watchers opened a stargate from Lyra and were the first rebels to arrive on Earth on Mount Hermon. They were quickly pursued by Michael's forces. However, Michael was warned by Uriel that he and his forces will be pulled into incarnation cycles because of Earth's gravity if they prosecuted this military campaign against Azazel and his forces on Earth. If Michael was to go through with this, he would become transfixed and trapped in this solar system, and the war would rage on for thousands of years. He could not let this evil sweep unhindered across the planet and went ahead with his plan. We are now seeing the final stages of the Watcher Wars playing out in front of us. I mean,
they're asking, where are you reading this from?
From that book.
Is this the keys to Enoch?
No, it's from that book. It's chapter 4.
Oh, you're talking about James?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. It's big, and that's just this little book we found. We're not talking about the other one, because the thing is that here they found a Talmud of Emmanuel, Jmmanuel. Because at about 10 AD, the last Pleiadian leader called Pleias left Earth for good because Pleiadians finally achieved peace there. They felt it was time for humans to evolve on their own. The next Pleiadian spiritual leader on Earth was called Emmanuel. Michael still physically comes to this planet on occasions, and he is now free of his karmic bonds. However, his spirit lives in the bodies of his human descendants as walk-ins who carry on the Watcher War under his directives. Flynn. The Son becomes the Father, and the Father the Son. You shall watch my life through your eyes, as your life shall be watched through mine. Sound familiar? They found an ancient text known as the Talmud of Emmanuel in 1963 in a cave in Jerusalem. And it was found it was buried for almost 2,000 years. It was discovered by a Lebanese priest and this Billy Edward Albert Meyer, this guy from Switzerland that was visited by Pleiadians on his mountain. And I mean, he says he's 100% real deal. I mean,
What's
solid.
his name?
Billy Meyer in
Yeah,
Switzerland.
I've watched a lot of his stuff. He's very interesting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
I knew that was who you're talking about. I was just wondering.
yeah, and I mean this. And then it comes chapter 5. That's when it just goes to shit. Not gonna lie. Yeah, that one could just What they made these kids do in order to. I mean,
it's bad.
I mean, I'm just like, what the fuck? No.
I know.
And the thing is that now we're sitting here thinking that all these people, they should be, all executed for. But if they're born into it, they don't know they're born into it. They have no choice. Their free will is stripped from them.
No, I mean, even I hate to say a certain son of a certain not so normal situation with all the videos and laptop situation, but born into that.
Yep, Hunter Biden. Yep, same thing.
Born into it. He's got the tattoo on his back of the tunnels. It's just normal for him. I mean, most of the soldiers or anyone is part of any of that stuff, they just go wackadoodle, or drugs, alcohol, or anything to like numb the memories. Either that, or if they talk about it, they wipe them again, or they discredit them and give them shit and make up stuff about them to get them in trouble. Like, I mean, James is in prison, so he's still living. I think he might be out now. I don't know.
Hopefully he is. I'll tell you what, that band.
He's
by reading that. I mean, I just man. And then they send him to prison. I'm like, that's probably the nicest thing that's happened to him. I mean, seriously. I mean, it is. I mean, once you read how his life was, it's like, damn. I mean, he goes from age of 5 to age of 8. I mean, it's
well. We're about at that time, but I hope you guys will look into the stuff on your own, and take some time to research a lot of this on your own. And maybe this is, a start of even more things to uncover for you guys, or maybe you know everything about it already. I don't know. You might be all caught up.
Yeah, I mean, and plus Project Mannequin is PM, and PM did have dots under it when they're referring to time.
Yeah.
So that as well. I mean, there's a lot.
You mean the actual dot? It showed it.
There's actual. I mean, there is overwhelming evidence from the drops, and from what I read from the book and this article, the Project Mannequin article, that I'm 100% convinced.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because you got MI6, MI5, MI6 in on it. I mean, it's because according to an NSA contact, the NSA deals directly with 118 different ET races known as, quote unquote, the link. Sound familiar from a Q drop, huh?
Wow.
The link. It's actually in a Q drop. I don't know which one, but it says the link. It actually says the link in capitals. I mean, it's, yeah. It's, yeah. And the whole thing is the octopus, because that's the whole drug money. Because it's the global underground base system run by the NSA, 4,000 bases, and everything's funded with drug money. That's why we have this there. That's why they found the 800 trillion in Puerto Rico trust. And if that's not enough,
well, and it was in New York first.
What?
The gold. That other the other building that they don't talk about, that they took all the gold and they moved it. That was supposed to be for Gesera. That was supposed to be for us.
Oh no, that gold, that was old Chinese gold. That had a 99-year lease on it. That actually had to go back to the Chinese royal family.
Seriously?
Yes.
I thought they moved that to Mexico or in Puerto Rico or somewhere.
Oh, they stole it. They stole it from them, but it was all Chinese. They leased the gold, and they were supposed to give it back,
but they didn't.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I didn't know where it came from. I just knew that it was.
That's why China's like, fuck this. And who's it on the Vatican? I mean, they didn't even get all the gold out of the Vatican yet, and they're in the quintillions. I think that's 57 zeros, 54, 57 zeros. That's a lot of commas.
Wow.
And then you have Department of Defense appropriation for 1970, which is a 17. They created AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
They used taxpayer money to create AIDS, but yet United States Patent 5676977, method of curing AIDS with tetrasilver tetroxide molecular crystal devices, October 14th, 1997. There's actually a patent to cure AIDS, and still nothing.
Pharmacia.
That's the whole second coming. It's the downfall of that. Shit.
Well, we'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that happen between now and then.
Oh yeah, gonna happen enough we got enough to talk about here. I mean, we still have documents we haven't even talked about.
Awesome.
In fact, we have a 2,400 page book we did last night. That's very insightful.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut this out.
All right.
We're at the top of the hour. I had fun catching up with you. It's been
always a good time, always a blast.
And it's been real fun. I hope you guys continue to maybe look into a few of these things. I did drop the doc that he was talking about in the Divine Science group, so you guys can check that out. And for those of you who are complaining about it being sketchy on Twitter, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and set it as a premiere so you can go back and watch if you want. But hope y'all having a great week. Stay positive, and definitely go to swiftfire.org to sign up for my newsletter. Please get on my newsletter so you can figure out where we are in case there's anything that happens where we get disconnected. But that's one place you can find me to make sure we can stay in connection. Also, we're both on Telegram now too, so hop on there. That's the one place where we've actually been able to be positive and actually truthful and honest and haven't been censored. They're talking about taking it down, but right now that's where we're at. So
well actually, AmericanSocialMedia.us. Try that.
AmericanSocialMedia.us.
Yes.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's a new social media site. It's set up just like Facebook.
Oh.
There was a steel worker in Florida actually put up the money, and he actually had it built.
Good.
Because he was tired of, so he stepped up, and people are like, oh, you can't do this. You can't do live videos. Like, it costs money to do this. I mean, he ponied up all that money. It's like, that's why I'm going to make a post over there and say, put his PayPal. Say, if everybody chips in like $10, $20, I mean, we can have everything. I mean, why not? I mean, he's not going to censor anything. There's no app for it.
Yes.
And that's the best way to do it, is by doing a .us where, you're not making an app where Amazon and Google and all that could take you on your app like they did Parler, and you can't get on. You're done. So.
All right. Well, I'll post the links to Telegram in here too. So y'all have a wonderful night. We will see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. And you guys have a great week. Talk soon.
Yep. Have fun.
All right. Bye-bye.